Hey guys, I'm Takiya.
And I'm Amber. Welcome back to the table read.
Today we're tackling an Emmy-nominated comedy series called Hacks.
I'm so excited for this episode. I watched this a few months ago because of Hannah Einbinder's Emmy speech, and by the way, I'm obsessed with her. But I watched it and I finished it within probably 3 days, and I have not stopped talking about it. So to do a podcast episode, literally just talking about the show is all I could have dreamed of.
She's not lying because she's watched 2 other series so far, and she still is talking about how she wishes she can watch Hacks for the first time again, so
It's so good, and I'm not even I'm not a comedy person. Originally, I did go to start, watching it, and then I saw it said comedy, and I was like, "I'm not gonna like it." And then I actually sat down and watched it, and I was like, "Holy shit." And I think the thing about it is it's very dry humor.
it is dry
Like, it's
humor. Like,
very
you would get canceled if you said a lot of those things, like, in real life.
But the thing about the show is they tread such a fine line of, what they can make jokes about. I just love it so much, and it's so funny because we talked about this a few weeks ago, but Hannah Einbinder, who plays Ava Daniels, they are this I mean, obviously they're the same person, she plays her, but, their personalities are so similar, she
For
is
sure.
Ava.
For sure. Like, if you watch interviews of her or, like, honestly just follow her on Instagram, sometimes her stories just scream Ava.
Okay, I am ready to just dive into this episode because, like I said, I could talk about it all day.
Is Ava and Deborah's relationship a mentorship, a business partnership, a friendship, or do you think it's something closer to, like, codependency?
I think it's something closer to sexual tension.
Yeah.
Okay, hear me out. So, first off, I've seen people saying, I love this mother daughter relationship. I said mother and
I
daughter.
do not see mother-daughter at all. I see, like, mistress and MILF, like,
No, same. That's exactly what I see. And I don't know, they do have a lot of codependency, but I think it's such a toxic
it
relationship,
is
but it's
toxic.
they need each other.
They
And
do.
it's so funny because they're both so, well, Deborah more so, stubborn. And I think that's why they fit so well, but that's also why they fight is because they both are just so, after what they want.
It's crazy how similar they are and how their toxic relationship just kinda shows throughout literally every episode because a lot of the times, like, they go from liking each other and laughing and giggling and blah, 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 to then, like, calling each other a bitch or, like, freaking Deborah making fun of Ava for being bisexual.
My favorite was, the scene where, uh, it was after Deborah had got her comedy show, and Ava had said something, and Deborah was like, "Well, why don't you just kill yourself?" I was like, "Why would you say that?" For those of you who have not seen Hacks, it's a comedy about a writer and a comedian, and basically the comedian unwillingly hires this writer named Ava, um, and they're I don't even know how to explain it. They're just so it's basically about their relationship as writer and comedian. The comedian's name's Deborah Vance, and y'all, they're just so toxic, but
You have
they
to
make
watch it to really understand.
it's like a whole thing, and basically the whole goal is to keep Deborah on the map as, the top female comedian, and I mean, they're doing it. That's for sure. The show deals heavily with intergenerational tension. Is the conflict between Ava and Deborah really about age, or is it more about power, ego, insecurity?
All of the above? Is
Yeah.
that it? Like, can I because, like, I don't think it's really about age. Maybe a little bit, like, there's a bit of a few times where Ava's like, "Dude, like, you can't say that. Like, you're gonna get canceled." But then again, they kind of also have the same sense of humor, that same dry humor. Um, so I think for Deborah, a lot of it is power, and I think Ava has realized that because in the beginning, Ava wasn't someone who would stand up for herself, like, even the people around her were like, "Why the hell do you let Deborah walk all over you. Like, why do you let her say this to you? But then when she basically told Deborah that she's gonna hire her as as her head writer or she's gonna fucking kick rocks, like, I was like, dang, you do have it in you.
I loved that
So
scene, so I was shook whenever she was like, "It would be funny if people found out that you're, like, the next comedian after you slept with the CEO of the network."
it was
I
giving
was
Maya
like,
Bishop.
I know, it really was, but I was like, "Oh, she," and I was like, "That's that's so cruel," but honestly,
I'm here for it.
she kinda deserved it. Like,
Yeah,
she has been so awful to Ava, and honestly, like, it was hot.
it was, not gonna lie. That was kind of
In the
hot.
suit, in that
Wait.
blazer, like the blazer set, oh my god.
As you guys can tell, Amber is down bad.
I think that she's, like, the funniest person ever.
Aw, Hannah
Like,
or Ava?
both. They announced when the Emmys were coming out, and I was like we were thinking about going, and I was like, "I don't think that I'm going to be able to, like, look at her in human flesh."
Honestly, I thought that about Scarlett until about 2 days ago, and then there she was.
It's so crazy, like, seeing somebody that you're a fan of, and then, like, in person, you're like, "Holy shit, you're real."
It's so crazy. When Scarlett walked on stage, I was like,
Getting back on track, I do think that definitely they fight. Deborah more so ego. Like, I feel like she's just so used to being right
Mhm.
and very set in her ways that Ava came along and, like, makes her there was literally a scene where Deborah was like, "I was doing fine until you came around." So I definitely think her thing is more of just, like, an ego. Doesn't she doesn't like that Ava's changing her,
Yeah, and
and that causes the arguments.
I also think that Deborah is learning so much about herself from Ava,
Mhm.
and that pisses Deborah off so
Mhm.
badly, especially when, like, she was low-key starting to question her sexuality.
Mhm. On that gay cruise or
Yeah.
they
Uh,
went and she thought it was gonna be guys, but it was
yeah.
actually, like, a lesbian cruise.
And then when she did, like, the poker night or whatever with those guys,
Mhm.
and she walked out because she was like, "Ugh, they're making fun of bisexual people."
Mhm.
I was like, "Are you are you one of them?"
We kind of just talked about this, but do you think that they fight because they care or because they're unable to express that they care about each other any other way?
They're unable to express that they care about each other in any other way. I mean, I think it's because they're both comedians, essentially. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, Ava is a writer, but she's also funny, and Ava knows she's funny.
Yeah, she does.
She knows she's funny. They definitely just don't know, like, they're the type of person they're the type of friendship that they don't, like, hug each other or, like, tell each other they love them. It's like us.
Well, I feel like Ava definitely you can tell Ava cares a lot more, like, I feel
Mhm.
like Deborah argues more so because she doesn't know how to express it, because, like, with Ava, like, the scene, I don't remember what season it was, it might have been 3, the finale where Deborah was like, "You can't be my head writer,"
Yeah.
and she, like, basically lied to her, and Ava found out that she lied to her, and then she came back to Deborah and was, like, basically, like, crying, like, pleading her to just, like, see her.
Mhm.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like, I felt so bad because, like, Deborah just was not but, like, basically, Ava was just, like, crying to a brick wall. I think Deborah did say, like, "Stop crying," or something like that because that was, like, her which, like, that was, like, low-key crazy of her, but I feel like that was her way of, like, I am hurting because
Yeah.
I'm doing this, but, like, I don't want to feel bad about it."
I felt so bad for Ava so many times. When she slapped her,
That was
I
insane.
was like, "Ah!" It's literally a toxic relationship. Cause she'd leave and she'd come back.
Literally every other season, like, Deborah doing something to, like, piss Ava off and Ava going and doing whatever and then coming back, and I'm like, "You know what?
I
This
don't
happens in real life quite often." People who, like, are in a relationship and they're like, "Okay, I'm done," and then, like, the next week, we're, like, "Back together, my favorite person ever, love you, nobody's like you."
and you're just
That's
like
literally Ava and Deborah.
it sucks because Ava couldn't pretend not to care even if she cried. Honestly, both of them couldn't pretend not to. Well, Deborah can, but
Never could.
Ava couldn't pretend to not care, like, at all. When she was supposed to when she said, "I'm going home," or whatever from where were they? The last
Oh,
episode?
Singapore?
Singapore. And she was like, "Yeah, I'm going home." And then she woke up and they're, like, panicking because there's an article out there saying that Deborah's dead, and she was freaking going up and down the hotel in her pajamas, and she's like, "What the heck? Like, they're saying you're dead." And she
Mhm.
was supposed to go home.
I knew that she wouldn't leave.
Do you think Deborah actually cares, or is she just scared of losing Ava because she, like, has literally no one else but her dogs?
And Josefina, I think that she actually does care about Ava. I just think that, like we were saying, she's a really weird way of expressing it. I guess she also really has nobody else because her daughter, poor DJ, I love her though,
Oh my
um,
god.
because DJ doesn't really, like, she's caused her so much trauma that she
Yeah.
doesn't really want to be around her that much. And now DJ has like her own family, and then Ava's just always there. Like, she knows Ava's gonna come back, but I do think that she genuinely cares about Ava. No matter how much he tries to push her away, like, that is her person.
Do you think that Deborah has some sort of guilt from DJ, like, growing up, and so she's kind of trying to somewhat do better with Ava in a way, even though it's, like, a different relationship?
Honestly, I've never thought about that.
I
But,
know,
like,
it just came to my head.
maybe. I could see it. Like, I
Mhm.
can see how she knows, like, she fucked DJ up, that now she's like, "Okay, well, here's Ava, who I view." I don't know, she could say she views her as her child. That is no. No,
No.
no, no, no.
No.
But, like, who she views as, like, a kid, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I feel
Like,
like maybe she wants a do-over, and, like, whoa, DJ low-key doesn't give her Deborah the time of day, which valid.
I love DJ.
She's funny. We don't really know much backstory, if any at all, about Deborah growing up. So I wonder, like, if the way she is not only because of her career, like, starting her career only early on, but also just her growing up. Maybe her parents weren't present either, and it kinda just, like,
I do think
translated.
that they had an episode where they, like, briefly talked about how her parents were kind of, like, absent,
Yeah.
which I think probably obviously, like, manifests itself into her, and that's just how she was raised, so she was like, "I don't know any." Her and Ava, they're just so weird because I don't view them as, like, mother and daughter, but there's,
Ooh,
like,
there.
so much tension, but at the same time, like, that is a good point, I guess, that I do feel like she is wanting better for Ava. Like, the scene where she decided to let Ava go because she was like, "You're at the peak of your career right now. Like, I don't need to drag you down. Like, the opportunities are gonna come right now." Like, that was a very, like, then also, like, whenever Ava drove to the ocean, like, Deborah thought
Literally.
she was, like, gonna kill herself. I was like, "You drove this girl." So she said, "I'm not suicidal, I just wanna die." And I was like, "You drove this girl to, like, wanting to just be done."
But also, maybe it's not so much like, if we're looking at it from a romantic, I guess, point of view, maybe instead of her parents, it's her ex-husband
Mhm.
that we're kinda dealing with. Because from the sound of it, it doesn't seem like they were ever in a loving marriage. She jokes about his death, jokes about lighting his house on fire, so maybe that's her do-over. Deborah knows how to hold a grudge too, and her sister's, like, trying, I guess, but it's also like, how do you come back from that?
But it's also, like, so awkward.
Imagine being DJ. But DJ
Like, your aunt
forgave her.
DJ just loves everybody
DJ loves
besides
everybody,
her
yeah.
mom.
She was so mean to her at her birthday dinner.
Oh, yeah.
That made me so sad.
I felt bad for DJ. Do you know that she's
Um,
the lead in High Potential?
I was literally about to say that. Literally about to say that.
I haven't seen High Potential, but I, like, was watching hacks and then I saw, like, I keep seeing promo. I was like, "Why does this girl look so familiar?"
Yeah,
And then
when we
I
first
looked.
started, I was like, "Wait a minute," and I almost asked you, but I was like, "You don't even watch that show, never mind."
Yeah, and I was like, "I've seen this girl somewhere." And
Mm,
then I was, like, looking, and then for some reason in my head, I was like, "High Potential," because I've seen the poster for it so many times.
yeah.
And I looked it up and I was like, "Oh my god, it's her."
She's booked and busy, man.
I know, like, 2 big shows because High Potential's pretty big right now.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
I do
I think I've
too.
seen, like, 1 episode.
Do you think that Deborah's evolution shows genuine growth, or do you think that she's just kind of getting better at hiding her flaws and who she truly is?
It's giving, like, Olivia Rodrigo, 1 step forward, 3 steps back or something like that. Because I feel like some episodes or, like, some moments, some scenes, she's like, "Aw," like, "Wow, she actually does care," and then the next scene is like whiplash. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing, bitch?"
I will say though, the one scene that I was like, "Oh my god," was whenever I thought she was fully I thought she was firing Ava as her head writer.
Yeah.
Whenever, he was like, "You like, either gonna go off air or you're gonna fire her." And she, like, locked her out of the, like she, like, removed her key card and stuff, and she had her go down to was it, like, the Oscars or something?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, this was, like, her ploy to, like, film the episode and Ava not get back in." And then whenever she was like, "But there is one person I'd like to thank, and they want me to fire her," I was like, "You go!"
I was literally so scared.
Mhm.
I think I was texting you while I was watching that
Yeah,
episode.
because you were like, "Oh, this bitch."
No, literally, and I was like, "Oh, wait, never mind."
That was, like, the one moment I was like, "Oh my god, she's grown." And then they go to Singapore, and they're in there, and then Deborah's like, "Yeah, like, go get a life. Go find friends." I said
I was like, "Deborah, babe, I understand you're going through a crisis right now, but geez, you gotta take it a few notches down."
I get why DJ got addicted to stuff.
No,
Like, if
literally.
she was my mom, I probably would too.
Actually, though, because, like, where's the support? That's not
Literally.
supportive. Her telling her to get a life and
Mhm.
go find some friends. She literally ended her relationship ended because of you, Deborah.
Yeah.
She had a friend.
Then whenever Deborah got mad and she had when she was asking her name was Ruby, whenever she was like, "Oh, and then I heard one of your exes found your ring." I said,
I was so
"Deborah."
mad. I was like, "Oh my god."
I felt so bad. I was like, "Why do you keep doing this? Like, you're making it impossible for me to be on your side." Ava is in love with Deborah. I
For
don't care
sure.
what anyone says. Ava is in love with Deborah.
It's giving, like, fan fiction.
There was an interview, or I think it was one of the Jimmys. Hannah was on, and or was it even Jimmy? It might have been this. I don't know. Seth, Steven,
One of the
one of the
late
talk,
nights.
one of the late night shows. Hannah was on, and she was like, "You know what, guys? I hear you. I see you. I want what you want, but." It's just, I don't think it's gonna happen, so stick with it in the fan fiction. I'm like, you know what? At least she's aware.
I love her. Do you think Ava's better off continuing to work for Deborah or just kind of going off and pursuing her own career?
What I like is her and Deborah working together.
Mhm.
Like, I love their dynamic, no matter how toxic it is. However, if this was like a real life situation and I was Ava's friend, I'd be like, "Okay, Ava, you're like at the peak of your career. You could have like a film playing at the movie theater, or like you could have a TV show." Like, she was working for a TV
Yeah.
show. I'm like, "You could have a TV show that's like getting nominated for an Emmy." From like the entertainment me watching perspective, of course, I want her to keep working with Deborah.
Yeah.
But from like if we were actually friends in real life, I'd be like, "Okay, girl, you
Yeah.
can do something else."
If I was Ava's friend in real life and she was telling me everything that she goes through at work and stuff, and I'm seeing it with my own eyes, I'd be like, "We need to have an intervention right
Yeah,
now. You, me, and our couch. Come here. Come sit down."
because yeah, if I was there and I like saw the way that Deborah was acting towards her, I'd be like,
I'd probably be like, "Who the fuck are you talking to right now?"
I would step in. I'd be like, "Okay, here's what we're not gonna do." But like as someone who's watching it, I'm like, ah,
Mm,
they love each
you
other.
got it.
Hacks kind of has like a funny way of portraying Hollywood. Do you think the way in which they show the Hollywood life is exaggerated, or do you think it's pretty accurate?
I think for entertainment purposes, maybe it's a little bit exaggerated, but at the same time, it's Hollywood. So, I mean, a lot of what goes on in Hacks in Hollywood kind of is similar to what goes on in real life Hollywood, especially when it comes to the misogyny and things like that. Within the industry, women have always had it pretty hard in the industry and continue to have it hard because men are just men, unfortunately. And then also when it comes to working with a group of writers, obviously you're gonna have a strong writer, you're gonna have someone who kind of takes lead in everything, and you're gonna have other people who maybe are jealous or maybe who aren't as strong of writers or whose ideas always get shut down and things like that. And there was a point where Ava had to fire 2 of the writers, and, like, that stuff happens in real life.
Touching on the whole women versus men in the industry, like, that is so true today. Like, men stay getting more recognition, more opportunities. Even recently, the short film competition that we both
Yeah.
were in, and there was like 13 winners, and I think it was like 2 or 3 of the directors were women, and
Which
it
is
was like and
ridiculous.
it was like 2 of them were like part of a duo that had a man in it.
There's no way out of all those submissions, you had 2 female-led films that you liked. That's it.
Yeah, literally.
Come on.
And it's like you think that things are changing, and then things like that happen, and you're like, and it's like it's hard not to be discouraged when that happens, because it's like you're like, I put in all this work, and I don't know. Like, obviously, like, I'm not saying that they work, any less hard or anything, but it's just, I don't know. It's
It
like
feels like it's almost handed to them. It feels like no matter how much work we put in, 9 times out of 10, it's not gonna be good enough. Change is gonna come, and if it's gonna happen with our generation, honestly, within the industry, and I feel like with us starting our podcast, and we're very female, driven, and I think we just need more people like that, more people not to toot our own horn, but, like, more people
right.
like us to be like, "Actually, no, women can do it all, and we will do it all. Watch."
Social media and stuff. There's so many women that work in film
Mhm.
that are trying to get their stuff made, and I really just like, it would be nice if what you see on social media could just translate to real life.
Yep.
'Cause it's like, I see so much stuff, but it's like, why is nobody else, like, seeing it? Why can't people, CEOs, whatever, like, social media is unfortunately become a large part of, like, the game. Like, there's been so many people who have had, like, I don't know, pitches on social media that get made into movies, or, like, people who start acting on TikTok that have, like, been cast in films. Like, everything is coming from social media, whether you like to admit it or not. It does suck sometimes,
It
because it's like,
does.
it really gets based on, like, followers, and I'm like, "Okay, well, followers don't really equal
Talent.
talent."
I feel like even just between us, we talk about our goals and everything within the industry and just life in general, and it's like, there's probably so many duos like us out there. We just all haven't met each other. One day we all will because we're all just gonna be climbing to the top together. So, we always like to end our episodes with a pretty fun question. So besides Deborah's, whose stand-up set would you wanna watch live?
Oh, there's so many funny people on this show. I'm not gonna say Ava, because Ava basically is Deborah's stand.
Yeah,
Like, the jokes are
yeah.
Ava's. I think somebody that'd be I could just probably sit and, even if it wasn't a stand-up, that I could just sit and have a conversation with, and they would just have me dying, would be Kayla.
Oh, for sure.
She's just so funny, but, like, without intending to be. And, like, I don't know how much of the show is improv, but, like, she's quick with things.
She is so quick with it. I've been watching Megan, who plays Kayla, I've been watching her on and off for a while on social media. I think that's how she got started, actually, is on social media. And I've watched her on and off, and she's just always been funny.
And that's an example of people on social media who should be.
Exactly.
That's
People who
that's where it
actually
does
have
equal
talent.
talent. Exactly.
Right.
Like I said, I don't know how much of it she improvs or how much of it is scripted. Even if it is scripted, she knows, like, how to make it work.
Yeah. It feels like real life basically for her. Like, it's almost
Yeah.
a second nature.
The writing is so natural,
It is so
and
natural.
it's not like in Ava too, like, she's so awkward, but, like, that's just how it is.
I've also never really been into comedy now that I think about it. I mean, I watch Abbott,
Mhm.
Elementary, and I that show cracks me up. But other than
I
that,
need
I've
to
never been
finish
a
that
comedy or
show.
something. Yeah, you do. I haven't actually really watched much of this season, so I need to catch up. I have a lot to catch up on.
I know, you do. I've, like, given you a list. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I've told her that she needs to, catch up on all these shows that I watch so I can have people to talk about them with, because I feel like I always try to I watch shows, and then I realize, like, I don't know anybody else that's seen this.
You watch them so fast, though.
That's the issue is, like, when I go to bed, I'll, like, press play, and I am like it'll be, like, 12 a.m., I'm like, "Okay, I can fit in one more episode," because, like, 1 to 2 is, like, pretty much when I go to bed, and then the episode ends at, like, 1:30, and it's, like, a cliffhanger or something, and I'm like, "Okay, well, now I gotta see what happens next." So then I'm done with the whole season by the time night's over, and so then the next day I can just start the next season, and then, like, the process repeats, and that's how I finish.
No, guys, literally, I wake up at, like, 6 a.m. every morning, and I have a bunch of TikToks from Amber 3 hours prior. If you guys are looking for a fun comedy show to watch, we definitely recommend watching Hacks.
Also, like we were saying, we have been getting into comedy more recently, so if there are any comedy shows that you guys recommend, please let us know and we will check them out. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Be sure to follow us on our socials to keep up with all our episodes and behind the scenes. We'll see you guys next week.